In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a mix-up from making the enemy block a jab or a down forward 1 with Reina, and I'm going to explain why I'm using these buttons instead of something else. So first off, let's get over why we are using these buttons. So for example, the jab and the down forward 1 are her basically fastest and safest high and mid. And as you can see, universally the jab is +1 on block, and this is your main mix-up starter up close, and down forward 1 is your ducking check. So if somebody's trying to duck, this is your best button and fastest button in here. That is also safe. Another reason, for example, is if the enemy tries to do something which they commonly do on defense, is after you make them block a jab, they're gonna try to do a power crush, and if you use, for example, Reina's down forward 1, you're gonna be in time to block if they commit to that. So that's like one of the main reasons, and not, for example, use a launcher. You're gonna get punished there if they try to do something defensively, so you're trying to play as safe as possible in that case. Another reason is her down forward 1 can be cancelled into a lot of stuff. For example, the follow-up crushes, the power crush, as you can see, so you can do down forward 1-1. Even if you delay the second hit and the power crush comes out, you're still on time to block after that. So that's like another main reason why you use that string. And another main reason is, for example, you can do her speed engager because it is one of her best medium pokes that can be turned into a mix-up tool if you hit it, and also a wall combo tool because it wall splats. So that is one of the main reasons why you use those two buttons instead of something else, because down forward 1 and 1 are mostly the safest ones if the enemy are attempting to do some bullshit on defense. And that's basically it. And of course, as I said, the ton of follow-ups that the down forward 1 has in pretty much every video that I made about this character. She has a ton of follow-ups. The fact that she can cancel it into Sentai even on whiff, and then go for a mix-up if the enemy respects it too much, also makes this move godlike. Not to mention the range, the combo tool potential, whatever you want to talk about. This is probably one of her best buttons if you don't count forward 2 into mix-up. This is probably the next best button that she has in her entire kit. Alright, let's get to the mix-ups now. Now, I said if you make them block jab or down forward 1, you can make them take a mix-up. And what do I mean with that? So for example, if you do jab into down forward 1 and the enemy mashes jab, as you can see, you're gonna get clipped, right? So jab into down forward 1, the enemy wins if they jab there. The reason they don't want a jab is because jabs actually have a few very big weaknesses. They are, of course, +1 on block and they allow mix-ups, but as you probably might have guessed, their weaknesses is the jab can be duck punished. This is like one of the main ways Reina can destroy people for trying to do highs all the time. Of course, it's risky, but everything in Tekken is risky, so you gotta take risks to play this game. Another way to punish jabs is sidestepping. You can sidestep launch them literally in both ways if they're attempting to jab. Not always, but depending on how plus or minus you are after making them block something. But after making the block jab, you can usually sidestep in both directions. Keep in mind you're gonna have to test this with literally every single matchup. This is where the depth of Tekken comes in, and I used to think Tekken was about doing big ass launcher combos. No, it's actually about the small mixes up close and then the one big launcher combo to close the round, to be honest. Obviously Tekken 8 is a bit different with the heat mechanics, but we're not gonna go into that because it's a bit too complicated, to be honest. So as I said, another weakness is you can sidestep it both ways depending on how minus you are from both buttons actually, but you gotta check for with every single matchup, as I said. So if you make them block a down forward 1, you can sidestep launch. Keep in mind you're gonna have to guess there. You can't wait to see if they're gonna whiff. So you're basically making a read. As you can see, once the down forward 1 is blocked here, you can sidestep left because they get clipped, but you can sidestep to the right. And depending on how minus you are, you can also punish with an electric. But as you can see, from the -3 it is kind of hard, but from the jab you can actually punish it. And as I said previously, one more thing that I said previously that is very important is once you're sidestepping to launch the enemy, the enemy gets into an off axis, as a lot of Tekken players like to call it, and the usual combos that you're trying to do not work. So for example, if you're trying to do a double electric combo from sidestepping, the enemy is usually gonna end up off axis and some of your combos are not gonna work. So therefore you're gonna have to find a way around of doing different combos that return them into the axis, or maybe find better optimal combos in that way. So in some cases you can actually just get them back into the right spot even if they're turned around, but in most cases you're gonna get some weird angle and you're gonna have to figure out literally every single weird angle combo that you can, which might be a bit harder than most people actually care to find out. So for example, even if you end up in a very weird angle after sidestepping or sidewalking a move, I would recommend do the hop kick, because as you can see it puts them back into the bounce state literally in the most optimal angle. And I think this happens most of the time, except if you're like literally behind them. As you can see, that angle is good, and this combo is pretty decent damage for the hop kick. You can get 78 if I get the just frame there. So if you need the damage, this is a decent combo and it's very consistent. And in my opinion, I would recommend consistent combos over doing combos that are failing half the time. And as you can see, jabs and down forward ones with Reina are very safe and very versatile to opening people up. And this is pretty much applicable to every single character in the entire cast if you're looking for your safest and fastest high, which is usually the jab, and the safest and fastest mid, which is usually down forward one. With some characters that's not the case, but you can find the specific character's fast mid and do the same type of mix-ups. You're basically looking for a mid move that is -3 on block or -4, and a jab that is +1 of course, and you can start your mix-up. Using the 3D movement of the game, you can make the enemy scared of pressing buttons as well, and you have answers that cover multiple options depending on the knowledge that you have of the character, so in which way essentially you can sidestep their moves. And that'll be it for this video. So if you have any comments, I know this is a bit stacked and very complicated, but this is actually what Tekken is all about in my opinion. Doing the small mix-ups and then like one big launcher combo and basically won the round. And if you have any questions, as always, please leave them in the comment section down below and I'll try to answer it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.